Shalom, today is April 15th, and this is day 192 since the attack of Hamas over Israel on October 7th, and now, the night before the last, we were attacked by Iran. Let's take a look to what Israelis are reading today in the newspaper, as these newspapers are addressing exactly that night before the last. ההתקפה האיראנית נבלמה בהצלחה. The Iranian attack was halted successfully, בהצלחה מרשימה, with an outstanding success, but the danger has not yet passed. In the photograph, we see the dark skies of the night between the 13th and 14th of April, and a few of the interceptions of the over 300 missiles and rockets from all sorts and types from Iran that were successfully intercepted and halted. הלילה שמשנה את המזרח התיכון, the night that changed the Middle East. כך נבלמה המתקפה האיראנית. This is how they'll be explaining inside how the Iranian attack was halted, was stopped. Let's take a look inside for more details about this. So this is all about the Iranian attack, and it says Halayla Hatov, the good night. And it reads that in this night, everything that was supposed to happen on the morning of October 7th and didn't happen actually happened in this night. The military the Israeli military was alert, professional, skilled, and it waited for the enemy in the right time and the right place. But the big winner, it says, is Joe Biden. He's proven again that the big military force in the Middle East is actually in America, and that Uncle Joe is faithful to Israel. That's how they're calling him here. We can trust Uncle Joe. So Israelis are very, very grateful to the financial and operational support that America is giving Israel. I'll point out to a question in the article, and it says, this is a question that is bothersome. How is it that an army that has failed in an unforgiving way on October 7th has done marvelously, and it hit the Iranian enemy 6 months later in an outstanding job? How is it we fell and that we rose? I'll read another key sentence here. The American veto is sharp and clear. Not to a war, not to open a war with Iran. But Israel really wants and needs to enter Rafah in Gaza, while America is also saying no to that. And this is where Israel will have to make some very tough decisions. And she's concerned doing this because Israel needs America on her side in front of Iran. Halayla hadramati, the dramatic night, the launches and the interceptions. 185 unmanned aerial vehicles from Iran launched to Israel, 110 ballistic missiles launched to Israel, 36 others, and 99 of them were intercepted. All of this happened, it took place for 16 minutes. There were 688 sirens in Israel through the night, and only one severely injured from shrapnel. In the background photograph, we see the Dome of the Rock in Jerusalem, the third sacred place to the Muslims, and we see the intercepts right above it as Iran is attacking Israel during the night, the middle of the night. Next, still, המתקפה האיראנית, the Iranian attack. בצה"ל ממליצים להגיב. The IDF are recommending to react. להגיב is to react. But there's a dilemma because some people in the war cabinet, like the far right, want to attack, and other people, like Benny Gantz in the war cabinet, says, no, we can wait for the right timing that's for us, and we don't have to attack Iran now. We can wait. And President Biden is warning Prime Minister Netanyahu, saying, if you attack Iran, we will not take part in that attack. So Netanyahu, I heard this morning on the radio, is in his maybe most toughest moment in history of all of his years as prime minister. What is he going to decide? Is he going to go with his coalition, Smotrich and Ben-Gvir, or with Biden that's backing us up, and he may want to please Biden? Here on the left we read Halayla hadramati, the dramatic night, and they're pointing out the seniors in Iran who were responsible for this attack of over around 350 missiles over to Israel, around 60 tons of explosives altogether. Ali Khamenei, of course, is one of them. Hussein Salami, Ismail Qani. They put their faces, a little bit of their quotes and who they are. Jordan defended Israel by participating in the intercepts during the night, and the Minister of Energy says that we will supply them we will add 1 more year of water supply, as Israel has been doing, because they stood on Israel's side. Now to the Air Force and the attack. There's some two interviews here with pilots, and they said, we were waiting for this for years. We have been practicing for this day, for this night, for years. And they were very, very motivated to protect Israel. It says, "Hitkonanu latarchish hazeh." We got ready for this scenario. The feeling of sipuk, of satisfaction, is huge. And it reads, with 99% success of intercepts, the night that Iran attacked Israel will be remembered for decades and for generations in the Air Force. Halayla Dramati, the dramatic night. This is about the aerial defense of Israel. Kippat Barzel is the first layer, and it protects missiles coming from 120 kilometers away. That's what we mainly use in front of Lebanon and Gaza. The other layer of defense is Kela David, up to 250 kilometers away. That's where the missiles will be coming from, and we protect that. That protects that layer. But the third layer is 1,500 kilometers away where the missiles are coming from. That's what we mainly use in the dramatic night. It's called Chetz number 2. And the Chetz number 3, which is the fourth layer, protects up to 3,000 kilometers away missiles that are coming from 3,000 kilometers away with unconventional ballistic missiles. So again, during the dramatic night, we used the Chetz 2 mainly. I'm turning a page. Nes Pach HaShemen Shel Biden, the miracle of Biden. And this article is about how Biden is the winner, being the uncle that Israel can go to in times of need. And Israel needs to learn a lesson in humility, it says, and also in thankfulness. This is because Netanyahu and Biden were in disputes concerning Gaza, and here in Iran, Joe Biden proved that that America is for Israel and stands for Israel. The dramatic night, Bnot HaBrit, the allies. Here it is, the United States of America, Britain, France, and Jordan. And this article, they're just showing their gratitude and deep thankfulness for this. Amina is a 7-year-old Bedouin who was the only one who got hurt by the Iranian attack by a part of a missile that fell next to her Bedouin village. She lives in a tent, really, and she's unprotected. And all of the Bedouin residents that live like in tents around Israel, not all of them live like that, but some, they're saying, we were left on our own, we don't have any shelters or safe place. Amina her condition is not good. She's still hospitalized. A piece of shrapnel hit her head, and she's in a very critical situation right now. And here's her father, Muhammad, and he's in the hospital. It says the ICU, the intensive care for children above him. And he's quoted here saying, we have no shelter, we have no protection. We slept in a little home, and we woke up to sirens. Next to the story of Binyamin Achimeir, the 14-year-old shepherd that was missing for a day and he was found dead. His sheep returned to the home before he did, and he's a Jewish shepherd, and it raised concerns, and surely they found him dead after mass searches. And his mother is in his funeral here saying, she's quoted, Yeled Yafeh ve'ahuv, beautiful and beloved boy, you were the most lively man that there was. And some Jewish settlers burned houses and cars of Palestinians in the nearby villages, thinking that would be an act of revenge. Here on the left, there's the Gaza front. It says sources in Israel they assume that Sinwar will disagree to the American proposal of the hostage deal. And sure enough, he disagreed. Hamas refused to accept the hostage deal that's on the table, and Hamas is waiting for escalation. That's what they're thinking. We see in the photograph many Gazan citizens that are trying to reach the northern part of the the strip because that's where their homes are and that's supposedly where it's safer. But the IDF is still working in the central part of Gaza, and they're actually recruiting more reservists to act more fiercely in the central part of Gaza. In the north, as the Iranian attack was happening in the middle of the night, the north, the Hezbollah was taking advantage for this. At the same time, it was very unusual, the time of these rockets, but 100 rockets or so were launched to the north, and some damage happened to houses, but no casualties. And the IDF returned with airstrikes, many different terror sites, it says, of Hezbollah as a counterstrike. With so much going on in the north, in Gaza, in Iran, in Judea and Samaria, that they're worried it will escalate there. The IDF put restrictions on gatherings yesterday and today, but this morning the IDF lifted those restrictions a day earlier than planned. So kids that are now on Passover vacation can go to their educational programs and children's camps. So we're glad for that, and we continue to pray for the peace of Israel. For more stories and updates, go to allisrael.com. Follow us on our social media. Like this video if you liked it. This is Rotem again for All Israel News.